Hey everybody, and welcome back to Life with Lolo. It's time for our weekly recap of Queen Sugar. This is season 5, episode 3, and it was titled Late April. All right, y'all. Before I jump into this recap review, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell. And if you end up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button along with the share button. All right, let's just jump right into the episode. So it opens up with Ralph Angel. He's listening to the radio, and on the radio, they're talking about how the farmers will be affected by the coronavirus and how they won't be able to crop, basically. So he's just kind of looking through the crops and stuff like that, looking at the sugarcane coming up and whatever. And then he's on the phone and he's calling like all his workers, and for the most part, he was telling his workers, like, don't worry about it. We'll see you next time. And then it sounded like for some of them, he was saying, come out or whatever. But a few of them had tested positive for COVID. So, they couldn't come out. So he was just like, all right, well, that's crazy. But I'll, pray for you and stuff like that. So next we see Nova. She wake up, she goes straddle Calvin. He at the kitchen table. He just drinking his coffee, reading the newspaper. And she said, well, look, let me put these thick chocolate thighs on this man. Okay, so that's how she woke up. Okay, they was just kind of talking about how people are struggling and how they're doing well and stuff like that, and how they feel kind of privileged or whatever. And I don't know what else they was talking about. All I know is they was quarantining and sexing, because he said something about 3 times a day or something like that. She was like, is you complaining? And he was like, well, hell no, girl, give me some of that. So that's all I know was popping off. We see Vi in Hollywood. They're in the restaurant, and it looks like she's packing up some care packages. Now, I don't know if they were orders, like if people were doing like dine out orders or anything, or if they were just making them care packages. But they were packing up stuff, and she was saying, like, I'm glad I was able to do this, because I would otherwise have to throw it in the trash or whatever. So then they're doing that, talking about the neighborhood and the neighbors and stuff. And then his mom calls, and then you know how when you on the phone and they be like, oh, well, tell such and such this. He like, look, I'm not gonna keep playing telephone man. Let me go talk to my mama in the back. So he go to talk to his mama in the back or whatever. And then we see Charlie. She's in a meeting, and she's with the other council people and stuff, and it looks like she's in the meeting with, I don't know if it was more like the people from Louisiana or just in the St. Joe Parish, but Jackson was there, and he all complaining about stuff. But I'm like, what is you trying to do? And she like, one lady was saying like the hospitals is overflowed and stuff, and where they gonna go? This was supposed to last for 2 weeks, and now it's 6 weeks and stuff. So they don't know what to do about the overflow. And Charlie like, we just a blip on the map, so we didn't really have help before. So now how are we gonna get the assistance now? And then Jackson like, oh well, because they was talking about non-essential workers, and she was like, well, they not even supposed to be working and stuff. And he was like, well, a lot of people not supposed to be working. I see Vibe has some activity going on over there. And she was like, they are not doing nothing. They are not in business, and they are not open or anything like that. And he was like, well, I did see some stuff going on or whatever. And she was just like, and it looked like he got mad and clicked off the Zoom meeting. I said, Jackson always got something to say. And then they showed how she had her pajamas on the bottom, and she was all business up top. Then we see Nova and Calvin, they're getting the troops together and stuff like that. And it's like maybe like 3 of them, so 5 altogether. And they're just getting packages together, like care packages, hand sanitizer, toilet paper, soap, all that stuff that we needed during the early times of this virus and stuff. So they're packing up, going around the neighborhood, doing a knock and drop and stuff like that, and just dropping off different stuff on the in the neighborhood. We see Darla. She talking about something. She had to fight for the toilet paper. Child, it was the beginning of the damn virus, and we ain't want no toilet paper and paper towels. Child, I remember one of my neighbors. She sent her daughter down here asking for some dang toilet paper. I said, who just knocks on people's door asking for toilet paper? But I was like, all right, I got a roll. But yeah, I told the kids, don't let her come back here. Don't get her no more rolls. Toilet paper. She's talking about, because I don't want to have to use a sock. I say, what in the world? Here you go, honey. Here go a fresh roll. Okay. But anyway, Darla tells us how she had to fight for the toilet paper and stuff like that, and they start cleaning the groceries. I never did clean my groceries. I just end up putting them away because, like, whatever. But they cleaning the groceries, and they're talking about the bills because Ralph Angel, he's like all positive, like this is gonna work its way out, and I know the land is gonna take care of us next year, and we're gonna make triple what we could have made this year, so they'll cover what's going on for this year and stuff. And she was like, "That's you're real positive and stuff. You got a real positive outlook." And then he said something about they have the money saved up for from what they were going to have to pay the workers, but since they don't have the workers to pay, they got that money. And then she was saying, like, she has her check, and then she said, well, maybe we could ask Charlie for a loan. And he was like, well, I'm not doing that. I don't need to ask Charlie for a loan. We're going to figure this out on our own and stuff. And so she was like, you right. I got my check coming up, and, it's going to be okay or whatever. We're going to figure this out together. So then we see Charlie and Vi, and they're in the restaurant, and Charlie is basically telling Vi, like, you can't open up a business. They talking about you was open up a business and stuff. And she like, I was just making care packages and stuff like that because, people need stuff. So I'm trying to help the neighborhood or whatever. And then Vi started talking about, and so Charlie was like, as long as it's contactless deliveries and stuff. She was like, yeah, we ain't doing nothing. No, we ain't touching nobody. So then, Vi started talking about how the council people stopped the small business loans, so they couldn't get small business loans in the area and stuff like that. So they trying to figure out how they gonna pay the bills and stuff. And Charlie said, well, look, I'm trying to get these business loans and stuff and benefits and whatnot for St. Joe. I'm trying or whatever, but just be careful because they're talking about sending the health inspector out and they shutting people down or whatever. So she was like, oh, okay. And so they started talking about, Vi started saying like, well, we can't, how long is this supposed to be going on? Because, people need people. People just can't be stuck in the house like this forever or whatever. She was like, I don't know, but, hopefully it'll end soon. So then she asked about Micah, and Charlie said Micah is on his way home. And then Vi was like, all right, well, good luck with that, because when Nova came home, her and, the father, they was going at it or whatever. So she was like, it's okay. We cool. We don't got with that type of relationship. She was like, okay, but just remember he grown. And it's hard when you live on your own and you come back in somebody's house and you live underneath their rules and stuff. So Charlie was like, okay. So then Nova is dropping off food at Mr. Prosper's house. Mr. Prosper just in his dark room, just listening to the news. Like, he don't really want to talk to Nova. He real, like, rude to her. She like, well, when do you want me to put these groceries and how you doing? He was like, I'm doing fine. Just put it on the kitchen counter and stuff. She was like, well, you want me to wipe these things down? I got some cleaning products. You want me to put them away? No, just put it on the kitchen counter. So then he's snapping and stuff. And she was just like, all right, Mr. Prosper. So then he goes and leave. We see Darla. She trying to help Blue with his homework. She like, what is this? This some new math type stuff. Blue like, Mama, I got it. I figured out the problem and stuff like that. They having issues with the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi keep going in and out, child. So they need to figure that out. But Darla got a meeting. So Blue leaves out the room with Ralph Angel and she gets to her meeting. Then we see Hollywood. He on the FaceTime talking to his mama and stuff. And, they just talking about chicken and bourbon sauce and all this other stuff. And she start coughing. So, Hollywood worried and stuff. He was like, well, what's going on? She was like, everything ain't the Rona. And he was like, oh, okay, but that don't sound good. She was like, I'm fine. I just need to turn this humidifier on. I'm fine. He was like, oh, okay, but I'll roll up the Baton Rouge. She was like, no, you won't. So you keep your behind down there in St. Joe. He was like, all right. Because she keeps saying she fine. So we see Micah, he, at Charlie's on the couch, child. He got like all these empty wrappers of snacks and stuff on the table. I'm looking like, first of all, you ate all them bags of chips. Second of all, you gonna clean that up, fool. So then Charlie come in and she looking like, I know he done lost his mind. He on the phone talking to his friends and stuff, and they put the mask on, and he like, all right, I'll talk to y'all later. And then she lets us know that he needs to get his test done in a couple days. And then, once he gets his test done, then they don't have to wear masks around each other. And so he was just like, she said, well, what you want for dinner? And he was like, oh, well, I'm going to just take a ride, clear my head or whatever. And then I'm going to stop off at a friend's house. She was like, no. I told you, you're not stopping at for no friend's house. It's not safe. Like, no friends, no Kiki, no nothing. So that's what he tells us. Well, Kiki gonna be easy because we broke up. Like, she had a whole nother boyfriend or whatever. So we already, broke up and stuff. People just going different paths and whatever. And it sounded like he was trying to be like cool with it, but he really wasn't cool with it or whatever. Like, his feelings still hurt about it and stuff. So she was just like, okay, well, he was like, well, you know what? As far as dinner, yeah, I'll eat whatever you cook. Dinner, I'm really hungry for dinner. And then he went upstairs or whatever. Then we see Darla, she outside gardening and stuff, and he like, well, good, we can save money on groceries by, growing our own and stuff. She was like, well, I'm gonna have a lot of time to tend to this garden because I done got laid off. He said laid off. Like, what you mean laid? Laid off? And she like, yeah, laid off and stuff because there was an outbreak. Like, 7 people who was in the field came back positive for Rona and stuff like that. So they just want to shut it all down. He was like, what about all them insurance claims? She was like, they just gonna backlog them or whatever. So she was like, cause I'm gonna give 2 weeks pay and then that's it. Then I'm gonna be furloughed. And he was like, well, what's that? And she was like, well, it's like I still have a job, I still get benefits, but I just won't be getting a paycheck or whatever. So he looking like, Lord have mercy, what is Weez about to do? Because they was counting on her at least getting a steady check or whatever. So then we see him selling his tractor. And the guy was like, well, I give you 55 for it. He was like, no, I ain't trying to give it away. I'm trying to sell it and stuff. So, you have a nice day. So then the man was like, all right, I give you 60, 65. And then Ralph was like, I take 75. He was like, no, man, I give you 7 and like 700. He was like, I give 700, not 700, 7,000. He was like, I give you 7,000. I'm not trying to shortchange you. That's pretty much all I got. So he was like, all right, I'll take that. Let me go and get the, paperwork together for you, and if you got cash, that'll even make it more sweeter or whatever. And then we see Nova, she meditating and praying and stuff, and Calvin walks in, and they had like a moment because she tells him that she praying for Prosper, and just praying for get his energy back and like cleanse his energy, get loneliness and despair, like, because it's been 6 weeks since he been in that room and all he do is watch the news. That's all he watching is the news, and that that was depressing as hell. So he just watching that over and over again. He can't really I'm about to say prosper. He can't really process it, and it's getting to him or whatever. So she praying for that, and she worried about everybody, and he starts telling how his kids is having a rough time. They don't really have interaction with other children, and they just pray that everything go back to normal and stuff like that. We see Hollywood, he's trying to FaceTime his mom. She not answering and stuff. So then he calls the neighbor and asks the neighbor, or her friend, to go check on her or whatever. So she said she would. But we can clearly see that Hollywood is worried, and that's his mama and stuff. So then we see Ralph Angel, he outside thinking. Darla come outside and he tells her that he sold the tractor today to get some money to but it didn't really make a dent in the bills and stuff. And he like, well, we can't get the harvest, and I'm just gonna have to accept that, and I'm not going to let my pride get in the way, so I'm going to go look for... No, I think Darla said she was going to look for another job, and he said he would too. And she was like, well, okay, that's good. We're going to both look for another job. But who is hiring? Because 20 million people is out of work right now. So she suggests like the convalescent home, for the older people, because she said they were short on staff, so they would be hiring and stuff. So they're thinking about, applying there or whatever. So we see Ralph Angel, he in the backyard, he tearing something up. He get a call that say, meet me at 4 o'clock. We see Micah, he on the phone in his room and stuff. And what's her name? Charlie, she come in and was just like, I'm headed out. Do you need anything? And he was like, no. And the girl was like, oh my God, that's your mom. Oh my God. So she like all in love with Charlie and loved Charlie on TV. She looked dope. He was like, look, can you just say hello to her? Cause she loves you and stuff. And she was like, oh, okay, well, who is that? So he was just like some girl I go to school with. And so Charlie was like, well, hello. Oh my God, that's your voice. Yes, it is. All right. Well, you take care. Bye. All right, bye. Oh my God, she sounds so good. She sounds so good. Oh my God, I love her. So I was just like, okay. And then we see But I think that was Mike. I don't know if Micah was, he sounded like he was macking to her. Because, look, macking. He was trying to get her or whatever. Because he was all like, well, I can't wait to see you. I can't wait until we have some interaction with each other. You know, like stuff like that. So I was like, did Kiki get another girl? I mean, did Kiki get another guy? Or did you get another girlfriend? Anyway, y'all, we see Ralph Angel. He had a job interview. That was the call that he got. And he get down there, and the lady like, well, you know, if you were to get the job, you would have to get a COVID test and do all this other stuff. And then he was like, okay. And so then she go into the whole, well, are you sure you want this job? Because this ain't just a paycheck, and just because your money is funny, and we really care about our people here, and you're a farmer, so you're your own boss, so why would you want a job here? I'm like, lady, don't be asking me no damn questions. I'm here to fill out the application. Am I qualified? So then he got to check her real quick and was like, look here, ma'am. Yes, I am my own boss. I know how to take care of stuff. I know all about customer service. I know how to, you know, be presentable, shows people I care and all this other stuff. My daddy was he mopped the floors, he swept the floors, he cleaned the cobwebs out the windows. Like, I know what this job all about or whatever. So after he read her down, and child, when he said, yeah, I know, he said, yeah, my money a little funny. Matter of fact, it's hilarious. I was cracking up. Okay, I said, your money is hilarious. So anyway, after he finished schooling her, she was like, oh, okay, well, can you start on Monday? He was like, I sure can. I was just like, ma'am, why was you questioning him? Is he qualified to be a custodian? Because she's talking about, you know, this is a custodial position, and we want people to be not. He cleaning the floors. Like, if you don't go somewhere. So anyway, we see Hollywood and Vi go in there. She bring us some tea, and he was just hanging up the phone. I thought he was calling his mom again, but he was calling Prosper to check up on him. But Prosper wasn't answering the phone. And Vi asked about his mom, and he says, well, you know, her friend checked on her, and she said she was real lethargic. And I looked up those symptoms, and I'm not, you know, feeling it or whatever, but mama keeps saying she okay. And so I was like, well, I know you worried. Well, won't you, you know, head up there and check on her, lay eyes on her and stuff and see what's going on. He was like, well, what about your delivery? She was like, boy, your mama is more important than these dang on deliveries. So he was like, all right, well, in the morning time, I'll head up and check on Prosper first, and then go check up on my mama and stuff. So that's what he gonna do. And then we see Prosper, the phone ringing, and he not answering. He just looking at the phone, closing it back up. Child, he go from his recliner in his room to eating TV dinners to his bed. Like, that's all he do. Bed, recliner. He don't do anything else. So, and he just watching the news over and over and over again. So that's not healthy for him. And then he finally answers the phone, and he thinks it's Hollywood, but it's Nova calling. And he was like, oh, okay, well, I thought it was Hollywood because Hollywood just called here, whatever, and I didn't, you know, I thought he was just calling back. She was like, no, I was just checking on you. And he apologizes for snapping on her. And she was like, it's okay. We all going through it. And some people are going through it in a different manner than other people, and are handling it different than other people and stuff like that. So, you know, it's okay. And so then she figures out like a way to get him involved, or for him to do something. She says, like, I want to get a comment from you on my story about homeless people and the coronavirus and stuff like that. And he sounded like he was real interested and was like, yeah, I'll give you that. So I was like, oh, okay. And then we see Darla, she's sewing something. Ralph Angel fitting to go to his first day on the job, and she clowning his lineup and stuff. He like, well, you know, I look good and stuff. And I was like, you do look good. I don't know what Darla's talking about. I don't know what she's talking about, but you look good, boo. But anyway, he going to work and stuff, and that's pretty much how the episode ended. And he was just, you know, real proud that he really want to be getting a check and bringing in some income into the house or whatever. So that's how it ended, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the episode. It's not really a lot going on. It's pretty much following how the path of the coronavirus was. That's how it seems to be going. And you know, it really wasn't a lot going on. Like, this is what was going on. So this is what they're showing us, like how it was, going on from different point of views and stuff like that. So anyway, like I was saying, if y'all ended up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, hit the share button, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. All right, y'all. Until next time. Peace.